All right, good morning and welcome to Chirping in the Park. Podcast number 11, I think. I'm not sure.
Need a little sheet.
I can't count. I made this clear in the last couple of things. I don't remember how long they are, so whatever.
We have
Good weather.
much nicer weather today.
Not raining, it's sunny. And we've got little clouds, nothing too crazy, which is quite good.
No wind.
No wind, lots of
rain.
birds. It's very damp and wet though. It's been raining a little bit. It's been pretty wet. So yeah.
Oh.
So continuing on our theme of something from the collection and something from the bench. I don't know. Did you want to go first, or do you want me to go first? Okay. We didn't actually sort that out. Sorry.
No, we did not. This is a piece from my similar to the piece I showed last time when I was showing off a carving I was working on, from the same series of kind of organic forms. This one I did the interior. It's kind of like a fruit, you know, like when you peel back an orange and you have that texture on the inside where all the segments meet. And then the rim section here has these kind of individual drips forming around it. I've done a few variants of this on different pieces, which I'll continue to show through the series. And this was designed again with the, I think, 7-5-9-3 kind of like odd numbers
Pattern.
and forms alternating so things sit nicely. This one I pushed further than my other ones with the levels here, so trying to create a good amount of depth in these sections. The edge is carved to kind of look like a lid, so it kind of looks like you could take this off, although it is fully one piece, but I've created a lot of depth here to make it look that way. Pardon me. And then on the underside we have this lovely texture, kind of like a squashed fruit, like starting to rot. I've carved and inlaid a couple of little little slaters, roly-polies on the bottom there.
They've been chewing away.
Yeah, I tried to carve them as part of it, but the midsection here was a little too soft and the designs broke away. But the majority of this crown is very dense. Even the grey areas, this is just coloration from the where the blood flow would have come through. I love how square this is. It's kind of unnatural but organic at the same time.
Yeah.
That's quite solid. Just that midsection was a bit softer.
Such a cool piece.
Yeah, and it's a very tactile piece. I like this this is the natural holes that are around the exterior edge of the crown, which I've left in because they kind of look eaten away at. And I've just sort of exaggerated things to add more depth to different areas. This piece is very fun to play with. Like, I sit here and use it like a fidget toy a lot of the time, just running my thumb around the front, or you can kind of do the same on the back, like spin it around. It's probably a bit too big for a Netscape, but I didn't want to make it any smaller with the piece that I was working with, so more of a tabletop piece. It has a little bit of a lean on it, so you can kind of sit it facing upwards. It does sit nicely.
It's such a cool piece.
On the table, you can sit it that way. Yeah, it's a really fun one, and there are a few more in this series. I'm going to make a half-size one, and I'll just continue, guys, to show the variants that I've been working on. These pieces are going to be in an exhibition in October.
A non-disclosure art exhibition end of October. I'll put the dates on the screen because I can't remember them at the moment. So you're going to have 8 of those pieces in one of our little display cabinets, which is going to be cool. And I'm going to display Harmonia, which would be quite fun.
Yeah. This will be at, I think it's Thistle Hall.
I'm pretty sure it's at Thistle Hall in Wellington. It's basically the artists' gallery that has been running for years and years and years. It's a really cool place. So you might see you there, which would be quite cool.
So hopefully I have a bunch of these on display for you guys to check out. They are very fun forms. So if you're local.
Yeah, and it's made from deer antler. I think you already said that. I can't remember.
So this is a crown I forgot to mention. So we talked about crowns last time. We were talking about deer antler. This one was a separate piece. I didn't cut it off a horn. This was a piece that was dropped, and they look pretty gnarly. They're kind of this lumpy rock,
like a lumpy rock / mushroom shape.
Yeah, kind
really
of mushroomy,
funny looking.
kind of all kind of edges on things.
Yeah.
And then I've trimmed them down to be the round shape. Some of them I like to work just the natural forms if you have cool shapes, textures. And there's a few of our older pieces where we kept the texture and just added a little bit of enhancement to it. Like
Yeah.
We had the flower that we
He
made.
was really fun, yeah.
That was a cool one. I don't know if I have any photos, but I'll see if I can.
Is it the By Any Other Name?
Yeah.
Piece we made?
Yeah. That one was really cool.
I like that piece.
Yeah, it was Shay made a little Damascus steel
Like a little arrowhead.
and then we had a nickel silver stem, and then I had a carved. It was primarily just the texture of the antler, but I added
really
some,
small, tall crown, very different to the piece you've got.
and it had this lovely lumpy texture, kind of like mushroomy, kind of lumpy texture, and I added some little swirls in there, and then I carved kind of like
almost like teeth, not teeth.
Yeah, it was kind of petals, it was kind of not.
Yeah.
Like quite more like you think of the inside of a chrysanthemum, like quite thin petals, and then we had a small garnet set in silver in the very top. It was a fun piece. That was like 2015?
14, 15.
Yeah,
like
quite
that.
a while ago. But the opposite, like similar ideas run through my work the whole way, but it was more a collab, slightly different piece.
I like how these pieces are coming together. The idea is just becoming is sort of branching out into this shape or then this shape. It's pretty special. I like it. So,
yeah, they're fun. So that's
he's so
from the
smooth.
bench piece. And then Shay has a collection piece today.
Yeah, from the collection I've got a book. So we're putting books into this now. Not that we've run out of collection pieces or anything, just to kind of make it a little bit more varied. So this book we actually purchased when we were in Japan, and it was moderately cheap. I think we paid maybe $30 or $40 for it, maybe a little bit more.
I don't remember.
I can't remember.
I have receipts somewhere. And this was either from the Tokyo Sword Museum or the Bizen Osafune Sword Museum.
Which was in Kyoto? No,
Bizen Osafune was...
Sorry.
That is when we were staying in... We travelled from Okayama. That's in Okayama.
Oh, it was in Okayama.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah. Round,
I think it was from
outside
that
of the
one.
city. Yeah.
When we were there, they had swordsmiths working on Suba on site, so they have a...
Great location. It's a really
Yeah.
cool place. They had a working studio, and each little bay or studio had glass. You could see the craftspeople working. One was doing like the Honzorgan like inlay. One person was just polishing. One person was doing this
forging.
job.
Yeah.
Forging.
Yeah.
It's really
One of
cool.
those areas that we wish we had the language to be able to speak to the craftspeople.
Yeah.
But that's okay. Maybe when we go back eventually.
Yeah.
But it was beautiful, and they had heaps of swords. I think there were 2 floors of swords that we looked at.
2 floors.
They were very cool. And this book,
This book's fantastic.
yeah, getting good Suba references can be quite tricky.
These are all actual size as well. I think a lot of books forget that to include detail, it's important to have an actual size image of the piece and or zoomed in images, because you don't know how big it is. And at the bottom, it still has it represented in millimeters, so it's got your height and your width, so it's a little bit taller than shorter, and that's the width there. And then you've got your millimeter thickness, which is really cool at the base here, and then how much it weighs. So it's a really good representation for knowing how heavy this object is. So all of this information, as plain as it seems, is so much more important than you think, especially if you're looking at making these, because you can only take photographs and representational like ideas and be like, this might work, this is might be the right size, but it's really cool. And not only Suba, but they've got like the Kozuka, or I think that's what they're called, and some cool stuff.
Yeah, chopsticks.
Yeah, I think some of these have got like a brass on them, and then these ones are all probably gold, just telling by how yellow they are. So it's a really cool example. I love this book and have used it a lot in my work already as references. They've got Minuki. Sorry, they've got Minuki and all sorts of detail work. So
Yeah,
it's a very cool book, which we love. Just continue. Alright, we'll carry on.
jump cut.
Jump cut.
And it's really lovely. The photograph quality in this book is outstanding. You can see the individual techniques, like the hammer marks.
The textures
The
as well.
textures on things. The photography is really good. This texture in the background of both these pieces is something that is used quite a lot. And it's very fine. It almost looks like a woven texture, the way that they do it. This tiny little stamping technique.
This piece is really popular. The the bamboo with the tigers. So a lot of these are probably patinaed with like a rock shoe patina, and the black is usually from a percentage of arsenic in some of the work pieces. Unfortunately, not very healthy for you. Very good, but yeah, the patinas are really lovely. You can see where it's very dark, and that texture Lena's talking about holds a lot of dark depth as well, so that if you wanted to polish off like the cranes, you can really elevate the cranes and make it look like they're popping out of the workpiece. You've got the pebbles in the river. It's pretty cool.
The most of like this book, other than the measurements, everything is in Japanese. So a few times we've just got Google Translate out, but it does have the references are based on different eras and different regions. So a lot of the books, which is really cool.
It's color coded on the edge actually.
Yeah. A lot of the books that we got talk about where different styles originate for different pieces. The same with the sword books that we got. It talks about where these types of swords were produced, the specific styles of the makers in that region, and which eras they were working through. There's the small book that we got from the same museum in Bizen, Osafune, and which I haven't translated because everything was in Japanese, but it's talking about different regional areas, and then it has the different sword profile examples, talking about the smiths and everything. These are just, but you can't get content like this outside of Japan.
Well, you may not know what you're looking for unless they had an online catalogue or something in Japan, which they don't. You're not going to find out what these books include, and it's incredible. I mean, hats off to the people that have spent the amount of time they have photographing and documenting all of this.
Beautiful pieces.
These work pieces. These are all brass and gold. That's really cool. Hopefully you can see that.
We'll put some photos of this book in the tile for this week's podcast. I'll include a few photos.
Yeah.
In the post, because
Cicada, he's cool.
So many beautiful pieces that the camera, the recording is really not going to do justice for.
No.
It's an amazing reference book. But we couldn't. I mean, and Shay and I do a fair amount of looking online for books for things, but
all the time.
Unless
daily.
you have the Japanese names of the books and you can find out where to get it online, it's very difficult. So we just tried. To get as many good reference books as we could that had pictures at least from the museums. The Tokyo Museum had a whole shop full of books, and that was a lot harder because we weren't sure how much we wanted to spend there. So we only got 2 books there, I think. One that showed real close-ups of the different hamon patterns.
Yeah, that was quite
hamon
good.
And
good book.
What's the shadow called?
Like an ashi line or whatever.
And has little descriptions of the different names for those styles and the way that the clay is applied to get that effect.
It's very cool.
If we could read Japanese, we probably would have got more books, but we just didn't know what they were about.
I think maybe looking for authors might be another opportunity to think about it, because that's in their best
publishing
interest.
Companies.
Publishing companies,
but that's just
could be something to look at in the future.
that was just an us thing. But like this one here is the inspiration for one of the sewers that I'm working on. But it's a bone variant. But that was the inspiration for the piece. I've changed the design a bit, but it was just a beautiful
that sort of shape
example.
Yeah, he's going to be good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, books. You can't really have enough books. So especially in this day and age where everything's digital, all the information is available to you, and you don't know what to do with it. So yeah.
So nice to have things that you can reference though, and like I've a few of the things in here we've photocopied and scaled up, scaled down, printed and cut out, you know, and then you can draw variants on things. Just nice to have references and starting points.
I think eventually when we have like the ideal house will have its own library or like a little study. That's the plan. But we've probably got maybe like 30 odd books now on not just swords and stuff,
but specific,
you know, crafts and things that extend out to carving, things that extend out to knife making. Actually, minus that, I've got about 30 or 40 stacked little blade magazines I got given. So blade magazines from the 70s and 80s. So I included. So that'll be quite cool to open those up and have a look at those.
Yeah.
But yeah, when we have people stay, they can look through the study and pick a book and sit on a comfy chair and.
Yeah, we've been trying to limit the amount of books that we buy because we don't have space. A lot of stuff goes between home and the workshop, and we only have so much.
I want to keep them in good condition, so when the right property arises and we get our own house and all that jazz, it's going to have these books are just going to stay there for the rest of our lives, ideally. So,
but they're just
that'll be quite fun.
We're probably going to end up with more books on our next Japan trip. Shay's not going to leave them in a 7-Eleven this time, but they.
We don't know that.
We do know that you're not in charge of holding things next time. It goes in the backpack. You're not allowed things in your hands because you get distracted by snacks.
It's
like, oh look, Family Chicken. What books?
Who knew? What books? They're gone now. Yeah. So anyway, that's a cool book. We've got heaps of other books that maybe if something that you enjoyed, if you enjoyed us bringing along books as well, then that could be something that we add to the repertoire from the collection. Again, we've got heaps of other carved objects. I have heaps of knives to show off, but if books is a nice change, then maybe you could let us know.
We'll try and put the names, like I'll type it out in the kanji and I'll include the English where I can find it, I'll use
hiragana and kanji, is it on it?
I think it has an ISBN.
Yeah.
So there is an ISBN, so I will include that in the thing so that you guys can find it yourselves if you want a copy, because it was a really good book.
Oh, it says how much we paid for it. It's in yen here, under the ISBN.
Oh,
it's 4,500 yen, which if you take the 2 zeros off is about $45. So I was close.
Yeah, probably.
Did I say 30 or $40?
Probably cost us $50.
Yeah, maybe $50
at the time.
Yeah. Which is nothing for a book.
Yeah, especially
people pay books like prices for books nowadays. They pay hundreds of dollars for books.
Most of the books that we look at are around the $100 plus mark because they include a lot of photographs. They're specialized information, and they're heavy books. So all the things we're after, we're like under $100. Score.
Yeah.
Especially with the quality
of photographs
of the photographs and these kind of books and the information as well. Like, not that we have fully translated anything, but it's such a good book.
Yeah. So anyway, that's us for this week's podcast. I hope you enjoyed it.
Yeah,
I think
slightly shorter than usual, maybe.
What's our time? 20 minutes. That's pretty much on par.
Yeah. If you guys have any books that you own that you think we would like, and maybe don't have in our collection, we would love you to drop links to them in the comments.
Yeah,
because we are always looking for more books.
Yeah. Swords, carvings, anything, even arts or culture as well. Like we want it.
Yeah, so, Netsuke as well. There's a couple of books already on my radar, but there's just not that many books on that carving specifically. Like I got some from the museum in Japan, but that was more about their collection, and then I got one from a Tokyo gallery.
You'll,
But
you'll find more.
I need to get more from the Tokyo gallery, I think.
Yeah,
They had a lot
he'll
of
know
books.
the books. Yeah, absolutely.
Going to end up with heaps of books from him next time.
Yeah,
I'm going to have just a suitcase for books.
just a suitcase of books. It's going to weigh a ton.
Yeah, we'll just ship it between hotels. It'll be fine.
Be fine. All right. Well, see you later. Bye.
Bye.